another evening post for you. I'm trying to catch up on some of these questions that I've gotten from people, and they're so important. And the last few have been so important that I've just been praying about it. I've just been praying about it and thinking of all the people I've helped and all the different scenarios. This one is not uncommon. I'm going to give you a little background on it, since you obviously don't know who the person is, but I did one on this a while ago. You might remember it. I was talking about it and I started to cry. I normally don't do that, but it was a girl who was contacting me about her alcoholic parents, and she left the house, but her brother was still there. Younger kids. This scenario is older, but this happens a lot. Okay, so this scenario is the daughter is having a terrible time, right? Adult daughter, because her brother is a raging alcoholic, right? And he's been alcoholic, behaving alcoholically in the family for like 20 years, 25 years. So it's not new. The father, or her husband, the mother's husband, was an alcoholic. So her mother had been married to an alcoholic, and her son's an alcoholic, right? The daughter's not. So the husband died, and the mother is now, of course, just has the son to focus on. And it's ruining the relationship with the daughter because the daughter can't stand it, right? Quit helping him. Don't bail him out anymore, right? And the mother is acting out on the daughter, who's not alcoholic, blaming her, saying things, probably guilt trips. You should be helping your brother. Aren't you worried about your brother? So, this is a family dynamic that's very common. And this is why they say alcoholism is a family disease. It affects everyone in the family, not just the alcoholic. And I don't think the alcoholic ever really knows how much they affect people. And, when they get sober, then they start seeing a little bit of it. And it's almost too much to bear. A lot of people can't stay sober because of it. So, I do like to talk about this because this is real life. This is what happens. It's not just the problem with the alcoholic. So this daughter asked me, what am I supposed to do? I'm ready to just say, forget it to my mom. I'm ready to cut her out of my life. And I understand that. I think that you kind of have to, in a way. And what I mean by that is you have to get really strong boundaries. You can love your mother. You don't have to quit loving your mother because your mother's codependent with your brother. If your brother is stealing from her, taking money out of her account, using her, steals her car, crashes her car, crashes 4 of her cars, whatever, it's really none of your business. This is tough, but it's not. Unless it's going to fall on you and your husband to take care of her financially, then you need to have a talk with her about the finances of it. Since you are going to need our help and you're not set up to be on your own, we have to make some family decisions here. And we're going to go ahead and put the kibosh on giving him any more money, because you're going to need that money for yourself, and we're going to help you with that. If she's your responsibility. If she's not, if she's got her own money, or she does not have any intention of having you help her, right? Maybe she's got a sister or someone who's going to take care of her in her older age, then it's really none of your business. It's really not. You can love your mother. You don't have to talk to your brother. You don't have to let him in your house. You don't have to comment on anything he does. If she calls and tells you, oh my God, he took money out of my account, you can listen. You don't have to respond. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry. Right? Not everything needs a response. Nobody needs you to fix anything. Right? If your mother comes to you and says, I can't take it anymore, I need help, then take her to an Al-Anon meeting, drop her off and leave, and then come back and pick her up. Right? Get her to Al-Anon. Introduce her to some help. Get her a therapist. Right? You're not going to be able to help her. You are never going to be able to convince her that her son is the problem. You're not. If you're a mother, you know that already. There is no way you can compare her to her husband who died. because she's not going to see that. She probably didn't see that issue either. She's got her own illness. It's called codependency. And you are, yes, I'm sorry that your mother is codependent and your brother's an alcoholic. I'm sorry. That is the way it is. You can only seek help for yourself. So just what you did, reaching out to me, so I can tell you. If your mother won't respect your boundaries of not hearing about, you can tell her, Mom, we love you. You can come over for dinner. We could come over, we'll go shopping, whatever, but I don't want to hear about Tony anymore, whatever his name is. I don't want to hear about it. Please don't bring it up. I don't want to know. It's too upsetting for me, and there's nothing I can do about it until he wants help. And it's really hard for me to see him do this to you, so it's best if we don't talk about it. If she continues to talk about it, you'll have to limit your time with her, right? Limit the phone calls. If it gets unbearable and she is blaming you and yelling at you, then you might have to cut her out. Cut her off. Say, Mom, I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to listen to this anymore. I love you. If you want some help, I'll help you find a therapist. I'll help you find someone you can vent to, but you're not venting on me. Okay, this isn't my problem. This is his problem. It's not even her problem. But she's got her own problem now, codependency. So you can say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do this anymore. And yes, it is sad that you have to say, cut out your only parent. This is life, right? It might be the very thing that shakes her up enough to go to Al-Anon and get some help. Or your brother, you know what I mean? But having everybody sick in the family is not going to help anybody. But if one person starts getting into recovery for themselves, it can spread to everybody. It's really the only hope that your family has, right? There might be a way that your brother gets sober that has nothing to do with your family at all. He might run into an old friend. He might get arrested. Who knows what's going to happen, right? He might just wake up one day and be sick and tired of being sick and tired. You don't know. It's none of your business, right? Your mother might wake up and say, I'm done with this kid. I've had it. I've had it with both of them. And she might just take her money and buy a ticket to Tahiti. You know what I mean? And get rid of both of you. She can. She's a grown woman, right? You're the daughter. You have your own family. You need to look after your family and set up some boundaries. What are you willing to put up with from your mother? How much abuse are you willing to take, right? How much blame and responsibility? Don't argue with her. There's no arguing with a mother, right? She's going to blame you because she can't blame her son. Does that make sense? Don't take it personally. It's the disease. This is alcoholism. And it makes you feel shitty. You got to stop get in your hula hoop. I talk about hula hoops all the time. Get in your hula hoop and put up the invisible shield, right? You get to decide what comes in through the shield and what you put out. So button it. Say less, right? Nobody's asking for your opinion, so don't give it. All right? Pray for your brother and pray for your mother. And just pray for them. Every night when you go to bed, just say, I just love them, and please give them health and happiness and peace, right? Serenity. And let them know I love them, right? Both of them, you love your brother too. You might hate him because of what he's doing to your mother and you, but really, if something happened to him, you'd feel terrible. So you need to be the bigger person. You need to love them, but you don't have to interact with them. You don't have to do any more for them. They're adults. They need to get their own help. And it doesn't mean you have to cut your mother out completely. Just have a different kind of relationship with her, a more adult relationship. And yes, it might feel like you're the mother. Unfortunately, that's what happens when you get well. You get a little humility, right? So I hope that helped a little bit. Let me know if you have more questions or specific things. Just direct message me. I'm available. Visit my website, KarenGardenier.com. Check it out. I do a lot of blogs on this, a lot of other vlogs. It's a hub of information for you. Please check it out. Subscribe to my newsletter. There's like a couple free downloads on there. Check it out.